Hi guys, what's up? I hope everybody is doing good. And this video is to bring you through an amazing marathon of the business data analytics paper. Now, I know you're working hard on all the papers and marathons. Exams are coming close by. So I thought we should bring you this, and this should give you confidence to finish this small piece, but a very, very important piece because it's very easy to score. And there are certain very basic concepts only, not very advanced. And for those who have already taken the full classes, this should be a brush through because there I've elaborately explained everything. And in the marathon, we will try and cover almost all the concepts. Will touch base everything. I hope you understand that we can't get into the intimate details of everything, but yeah, definitely we will get through a very, very good round of revision. Before I proceed with the marathon, I would like to give you a couple of very important prerequisites that all of you have to understand because nowadays there is a trend that many people are thinking that, yeah, we will watch the marathon and the syllabus will be over. No doubt, syllabus will be over, but one thing is that some of the students are not able to convert that into marks. So, I would like to, like I said, recommend a couple of things. These are not very hard rules, but as I would like to, call them as prerequisites. That is one, you do a thorough round of revision of the entire main content once from your main material, and then come to this video, or keep this video along. When you are doing this video itself, make sure that you go through the main content. I will watch this marathon video and finish this subject should not be the idea. That is point number one. Marathon video is for a good round of revision. So those who have studied the entire concepts, for you to go through that, this definitely is going to be a big help. Those who are planning to study this piece now along with the video, you can definitely do. So basically what I will do is to revise, and parallelly what you will do is to also finish the content inside that notes. Now sometimes I might do only the side headings and orally explain here. You might want to pause the video and read it in detail. So those kind of things we have to take care of. See, because theory subjects, they have a different approach. They are only theoretical from the exam point of view. These are all very practical when you see in the outside world. Today world is running on data analytics. So that is prerequisite number one. So only once when you finish the revision, go for it, or do the revision along with this video, but keep the main material along. Two, make notes. I will share the PDF of what I'm going to write on screen right now along with the video. In the description it will be available, the PDF. I still suggest, okay, that you can use it to, keep it in your phone or quickly refer through or run through, all that you can do. But when you're sitting with me right now, all I suggest you is to bring a pen and book. Right? If you're not having it in front of you right now, pause this video right here, go bring a pen and book, and make sure that you write along with me what all I write, despite the PDF being available, because the kind of confidence you are going to get will be unparalleled with respect to that. Okay, so that's all. Only two prerequisites. I tell all, all my marathons, I tell this in the beginning so that people don't mistake the marathon for a shortcut to success. Okay, so guys, I wish you all the very best, and I wish that you do it thoroughly, and I'm hoping that all of you are putting great efforts to scale through whatever heights you have aimed for. So let's get good marks in the exams by doing things in the good ways. Right, to start off with, guys, I'm going to start with four terms which are most important in terms of understanding the data analytic terms. Right, these are the four most important terms or terminology, terms in data analytics that one would like to know. Sir, what are these terms? I think well aware, everybody is about these terms, but still I would like to write. The first one is called as data. Right, data is the first one. Second one is information. Data first, information, followed by knowledge. These are all one level about to each other. Right, data is a very raw basic stuff. Processed data becomes information. Information that can be used in a very long run becomes knowledge. And then of course one of the most important things to define is, what do you mean by data analytics? Okay, so let me start by discussing these four terms with you, because as you know, the entire syllabus is based on these four terms only. First one, to understand data. I don't think anybody is having a problem in trying to understand what data means. Data is raw, right? It is not processed, it is unruly, it is available from multiple sources. Like this, we can tell many things about data. But if you strictly ask what exactly the data is, it is about facts and figures. Data is what? Facts and figures. So you can even say the facts and figures, or unprocessed information. It comes from somewhere where it is not exactly the word to say, but like I said, using that should not be of any kind of a harm in this content. It's because it's unprocessed. Okay, so that's the first definition that I want to know. And then anything data basically is all going to be about, I will write that word because it is so much associated with the data. Raw. What do you mean by raw? Unprocessed, in other words. Okay, then moving on is, what about information? What is information? That is processed form of data will be termed as information. Processed form of data will be termed as information. Now you have to apply certain techniques on data. Like raw data you collected about some population. Of that population, who are above this age? Of that population, how many are male, how many are female? Some raw fact is being processed into a more meaningful information. So here we wrote the word raw for data, right? Like that, for information we will write the term meaningful, because information is ideally something that is meaningful. Okay, so this is the story about data and information. The concept of processing the data, that is what will be data analytics. But before that, I would like you to know the definition of what this word knowledge means. Many people must have told you from childhood, you're very knowledgeable, you should have knowledge. So what is knowledge? See, knowledge is not something that falls from heaven suddenly. It is information only. But if at all that information can be used to solve a problem, information used to solve the problem. If any information is used to solve the problem, then such information is known as knowledge. Okay, so this is all the story about how it works. Facts and figures, process form of data, information that is used to kind of solve a problem is only called as knowledge. Now, the process of doing all of this, right? Data to information to knowledge. When you have information but you don't apply it, it doesn't become knowledge. So what is the difference between information and knowledge? If you really see, it is only the application part. Okay, information when applied becomes knowledge. Information when applied, it becomes knowledge. And the most important definition of the syllabus is data analytics. So coming to that, let us carefully evaluate what the definition is. It's a very easy definition, but first I want you to understand now analytics, the term. Normally any analysis is about understanding something, right? So what it is, how it works, all these are some, I mean, like broadly, it works about who is using it also makes a very important thing. Okay, it's not like what it is alone. Who, the audience, also are a very important piece of the story. So, considering all of this, let us now define what exactly data analysis is, or data analytics is. There are two parts to the story. One is about evaluating unprocessed data, data analytics. Let's split it into two parts. Evaluating unprocessed data. So this is not even become information as yet. You are evaluating unprocessed data to draw conclusions. Okay, you're working on it and we're going to draw conclusions. Evaluating unprocessed data to draw conclusions. And also, second point, helps to identify, data analytics helps to identify This is the most important thing that is happening today. If you see on Instagram, if you see on YouTube, if you see on any social media platform, they are making you stay long time on it by understanding what your usage pattern is. To understand your usage pattern, this is what they're doing using data analytics. It helps you to identify patterns. In other words, it is called as pattern recognition. Helps you data analytics, helps you to identify patterns, helps to identify patterns where in the raw data. That's the best part of the story, in the raw data. Okay, so and then of course data analytics, you can say, is finally useful for business decisions. That is the main reason why we are doing all this exercise, right? It is useful for business decision making. Okay, I hope you are noting down along with me. These are the four important, but the first thing that I would want all of you to know, in fact, I have this fantastic feature of putting this through the entire screen. So get to this. If at all you've missed anything, you can note it down. It is useful for business decision making. That is the main idea. All right. So take a minute, run through that. So hope you have gone through that, guys. Let us now move on to the next topic where we are going to talk about what are the different kinds of data, right? Let us move on to that now. Three types of data are there. What exactly are these? So first we will have to understand what exactly is the nature of data before doing data analytics. So let us target that as our next question. The next one is called nature of data. Three types of data are there. These are something that everybody knows right from the childhood. It's not specific here, that we have dealt with all these three. Nature of data split into three categories. First one is numerical data. Numerical data. So the concept of nature of data, you can split into three branches. Numerical data, descriptive data. What is descriptive data? Where data is in the form of text, right? Descriptive, all description be given, what is like, it's more like a story of what it is and all that. Then data that forms in the form of pictures, that's called as graphic data. So three types of data. Numerical, I don't think I have to write the examples, but still, since we're in the beginning of it, numerical, 1 2 3, so some type of numbers, all of that. Descriptive is in the form of text, graphic is in the form of pictures, right? So this is how this data are. Newspaper, if you're reading, you will have all three data in this, right? If you're reading a newspaper, you will find numerical data in that, you will find the text in that, and you will also find graphic detailing in that. So I hope everybody is clear the basic terms and the three nature of data. This alone can be a short answer question in the exam. Many easy questions are coming in the exam, guys. So this, if they ask you what exactly this is, you can talk about it. So this is more onto numerical. The keyword is quantitative in nature, while descriptive is all about being qualitative in nature, and graphic is through pictures or pictorial representation of data is called as graphic data, right? So this is what the story is when it comes to the types of data. Now let us stick to a very important question here, because we are in the very easy question, but this can be tricky, because in the exam people will think, okay, what is this? Are they asking about quantitative or qualitative, or are they asking about what? So they're asking the easy question only, that is, what is quantitative, qualitative. But when the name comes, no, the name for that question is, what are the kinds of data used in costing and finance, right? So going by that, kinds of data, kinds of data used. But normally also we use this data only, but kinds of data, when they say used in costing and finance, people tend to write all the general answers that we will use this cost data. No, that is not what they're asking. Broadly, the kinds of data used in costing and finance are two types of data. What is that? One is called as quantitative data, and the other one is called as qualitative financial data. Quantitative data and qualitative financial data. Quantitative data obviously expressed in terms of numbers. For example, if you want for talking about in costing and finance, we use, if at all, like stock prices, stock price, anything. It necessarily need not be stock only. Stock prices, financial statement, P&L, balance sheet, all of that, right? When it comes to qualitative, this can be about management's viewpoint, or say what is that they are telling about something, what is management uh, inferring about something, management's comments in the form of text. Nowadays even you can say video, audio, all these are qualitative data. Okay, so these are the different type of data that are used in finance. Take a very quicker look at both these very quickly. Yeah. So we have discussed three topics, guys. Basically, what the definitions are, and then what the three classifications. So the nature of data basically is, and the kind of data used in costing and finance. So that is exactly what I would want all of you to take a minute and run through that, so that we can move on to our next question, wherein we are going to talk about data classification, which is a very, very important discussion. I want all of you to have full attention on it. So I hope you've made sure that you have gone through that. Let us move on to the next one. Put up the heading as various ways in which this data can be classified. This could be an exam question. Various ways in which data can be classified. Don't later tell me that we didn't discuss this. This could be a potential exam question. I'm starting it right away. What are the various ways in which data can be classified? I would like to explain you all these points in clearer detail, but first let me write down what these first one is. Right, this four scales. Nominal scale, like I said, I want all of you to at least go through once the content that is there inside, and not simply bank on my explanation only, right? Nominal scale. Then we have ordinal scale. Nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval scale, and ratio scale. These are the four classifications, okay, that we have for the data. While in nominal scale, okay, where the purely it is based on the characteristics. Nominal scale is based on characteristics. Nominal scale is based on characteristics. There is one more important point there, that is no numerical value. No numerical value, wherein we're talking about some grouping. Like say we have nominal scale in stock market, we have small cap, medium cap, large cap. What is the number? Nothing like that. A name. Nominal scale based on categories of small, medium, large, and anything. And like investments are classified into debt funds and equity funds, like that. Nominal scale. Then ordinal scale. Ordinal means always. Ordinal is about a measure. Okay, or you can say put in order. Say for example, whenever say your example, top 10, top 50, 10, top 50 rich people in the country, top 10 best stocks, okay, top 10 what do you say, businesses in this country, like that, based on an ordinal scale. It's always put in an order and indicate first, second, third. That is called ordinal scale. Interval scale, I think all of you know, because that is what most times we are being scaled in the uh, you know school and all. 1, 2, 3, 4, there is a proper interval. 2, 4, 6, 8, like depends, like sometimes like we take it on a scale of 5. If you talk about rounding offs, we take in the scale of 5 or 10. So like that interval scale uh, for ranking, interval scale goes by ranking using an interval. Anything, it can be 5, 7, 3, 2, doesn't matter. But it starts at a particular point, and then like say uh, goes by that. Like say for example, there is one example that back I discussed in the class. This one, see, interval scale means 20 becomes 40, but you should understand that every time when you double it, things don't become like that. I'll give you one simple example. Now outside temperature is 20 degrees. Okay, 20 degrees. When it doubles up, 40 degrees. Now 20 degrees heat is exactly double to 40 degrees. I mean, like 40 degrees heat is exactly double to 20 degrees. It doesn't work like that, right? So it is a measure. Like said, best example is temperature. It starts with 0, 5, 10, 15, 20. It grows this side. Minus 5, minus 10, minus 20, this goes this side. So basically, it is exactly something to tell you uh, what will be an interval based understanding. Then one of the most important measures that is commonly used in the market is ratio scale, which has, right, ratio scale includes characteristics of all three. Okay, all these three, it includes the characteristics, right? So ratio scale basically is for age, money, like anything which can be easily expressed in terms of numbers, pricing of the goods on online, everything can be used using the scale, right? Guys, I would definitely want you to take a clearer look of this very important topic. Take a minute, brush through these points and get back. Come on. All right, guys, moving on to another very, very important question. This is a 6 point answer that I'm going to discuss now. It has come in the exam. It can always come back again, right? Very, very important point. 6 core steps to convert data into information. The question is what? 6 core steps. 6 core steps for what? To convert data into information. Convert data into information. So what should we do to convert data into information? Very easy, but again, like I said, it has to be understood properly. 6 core steps. Sir, what are these 6 core steps? Can we put all of them? Yes, of course we can put all of them. Let's make this topic a very easy one by starting with first one. Step number 1, what do you think is the first step? Collection of data. Collection of data. From where? From various available sources. From various available sources. Two. So after collecting data, what you will do? Because when you collect data, they will all be in varied forms, right, here and there, but we want it in proper manner. So second step is organization of data. Very easy answer this one, guys, right? Collection of data followed by organizing data. What do you mean by organizing data? Arrange in appropriate manner. Arrange in an appropriate manner. So once you arrange the data in an appropriate manner, it should again help. So collection, organization. Now you have collected and organized the data. Now comes the most important task. I'm putting a star for that third step alone because that is the most important task in all. What is it called? Data processing. It is called as data processing. And what are we doing in data processing? Applying the logic in data. The first step in doing this will be wait a second. Data processing. We will write it again here. What is it? I'll do first. Data processing cleaned to remove any duplications. Okay, clean to remove unnecessary. Clean to remove all unnecessary elements. And then comes the most important step of putting all those missing elements. Clean to remove unnecessary elements. Add missing elements. So basically, you're doing all of that to make sure that now the data is ready for proper processing. Then comes the step number 4 is integration of data. Step 4, data integration. What is data integration? Data integration goes by bringing all data into one place, combining data from various sources, combining data from various sources into one place, one whatever you want, a single one form, we'll say. Okay, data from various places into one form. Then now it is very important that you put all this data in a proper report. Data reporting. What is data reporting? Data reporting is arranging all this data in a very meaningful manner, translating all the data, into a consumable format, translating all the data into a consumable format. Okay, so that is what we are doing here, guys. And then finally, step number 6 is putting to practical use, that is called as data utilization. What do you mean by data utilization? Data utilization is the concept of using data for decision making, so this is the first set of questions that I would like to discuss here. The 6 core steps is one of the most important things to come in the exam. So please make sure that you wrote all these clearly. Collection of data, organization of data, data processing, data integration, data reporting, and data utilization. Take a minute and go through that. Then I will take you through another very important question. Come on. Okay, guys, I hope you have gone through that very important piece, that one. Now, let us move on to the next one, guys. Next one, where we are going to talk about what is the ethical use of data. This could be another important question in the exam. What are the 5 ethical principles? Right? 5 ethical principles. 5 ethical principles. Now, you can also call these as ethical use of data and information, or then we are okay talking about 5 ethical principles of data. I mean, like, the question can be framed in 2 ways. One, they can ask you what are the 5 ethical principles about data use. This is one question. 5 ethical principles about data use. There is one more way of asking this question, or ethical use of data or information. Ethical use of data or information. So whenever they ask this question, you have to write 5 basic principles. What are the 5 basic principles? 5 basic principles. Let me explain you these 5. These are 5 basic principles regarding. Let us write those 5 first, and then we will discuss each one of them. Regarding first one, right? 5 are there. First one is regarding ownership of data, which is one of the most important concerns in today's time, right? Who is the actual owner of the data? It's a big question, and anybody and everybody shall not be given the access to our data. So first and foremost principle is that there should be a policy, that is, there should be consent to collect. That's what it's called. Without knowing somebody's personal information, if you collect, no, it is violating the ethics. So therefore ownership should be established. Whose data it is, what data it is, are they allowing us to take that data? So first and foremost thing is always regarding the ownership. It is unlawful and unethical to collect data without the consent of the actual owner. So therefore it is very important that you take the consent nowadays. That is, I mean, of course, people are also so cool, they'll simply go and keep clicking I agree without knowing what it is, right? So that is something that all of us have done. How many times did you read the entire user agreement or data privacy agreement? We'll just simply say give everything. So anyway, we read or not, it is a duty of the one who is collecting to take the consent. Then very important second principle is regarding transparency. What do you mean by regarding transparency? Because see, nowadays lot of personal information is being collected, bank account data, Aadhaar data, moving it, and so it's very very important. Whenever credit card information, if they fall in the wrong hands, you can even incur a financial loss. So therefore, what is my data being done, how it will be stored, where it is gathered. Now, like say, whenever the bank collects, they'll tell about, as per RBI guidelines, this is saved very cryptically, like that. They have to ensure our data safety. That is, whatever data they collect, transparency should be there. Accept cookies. Do you see that? Accept cookies. That is one thing that, like say, this site will collect your cookies. Are you willing to accept? Because most recently visited, whatever are there, they would want to show that no. So for that purpose, they will collect all this user data, nowadays Flipkart and all of that. Okay, that is why it is very important, right? So to have transparency, ownership, transparency, privacy. Third one, five basic principles. Third one is data privacy. Anything which can be, there is something called as SPDI rules, okay, in the Information Technology Act, which is not there in your syllabus, but I used to teach that earlier in both CA and CMA. Information Technology Act has a specific provision called as SPDI, sensitive personal data or information. Lot of confidential information nowadays are there, biometric information, personally identifiable information called PII, or it's called SPDI, sensitive personal data or information. All these, they have to be stored in encrypted form, right? You can't let somebody hack into the systems and take these off. So data privacy is important. Why are you collecting the data is also a very very important thing. Regarding intention, this data is collected only for knowing the user behavior. Only because today, see, the social media usage that we have, it is all so much that they can barge into our lives so much. There is nothing called privacy anymore, okay? So it is important to understand how this entire story works. So therefore, ownership, transparency, privacy, intention, and the last point is regarding outcomes. Outcomes means, what are you going to do with my data, right? What are you going to do with my data? This is something that I would want all of you to understand. Five basic principles, guys. What will they do as per ownership? That is, take the consent for all data that is sensitive in nature. Transparency is about updating the user as to what will you do with the online data that is collected or any data that has been collected. Regarding privacy, how your data will be protected and kept safeguarded is important. Regarding intention, you tell this is the intent behind which we are collecting the data, and this is what we are going to use your data for. And finally, what the outcomes are. So that is the entire story there, guys, with respect to this very important piece. And last two questions that we discussed, those 6 points and these 5 points, they are very very possible that they can come in the exam. So please take a minute to go through both those, and then we will move on. Guys who are doing it for the first time, again, I'm telling you, as and when we finish noting down this, put the video on pause. There's no harm in doing that, and then you can automatically move to the next question, right? Let us move on to the next question, which talks about importance of maintaining professional skepticism regarding data. Is a very easy point, because I think all of you know professional skepticism is about a questioning mind, right? Importance of maintaining this so-called professional skepticism. Importance of maintaining professional skepticism about data. What is that professional skepticism that you're supposed to maintain about data? Let me give you some. First, let me write those points. First one, why it is important. What is the data there? So, in-depth available. I mean, in-depth understanding in-depth understanding of available data. I think the side heading tells you what it is. You have to first clearly understand what data have you collected, why you have collected, what is the analysis that you are going to do with the data. So uh, if you are not maintaining certain things with respect to the data, then collection and you be useless. So therefore, first of all, hey, one second, before I go further, I want all of you to have the word professional skepticism means questioning mind. As students of audit, we know this, but still I want you to write it here also. Questioning mind as to why we collected this, what can be there in the data. Is the data some regular data, or is it having some core content that it is like it can point out some red flags or something like that. So first, have an in-depth understanding of the available data. Now there is a word called false positive, right? The second one is increasing false positives. Increasing what? False positives. What do you mean by increasing false positives? It means showing something which is there but actually it is not. Okay, let me just write that down for you in bracket. I think all of you should know what the word false positive is, so write down there in bracket. uh, a result that indicates a result that indicates the existence of a condition. The result that indicates a existence of a condition, that means it is showing that a condition is there, but in reality it is not. Okay, a result that indicates the existence of a condition when it is not means the condition is not there, but it is showing as it is there. So when it shows it is there, it is called positive, but it is not true. That's why it's called false positive. So more the number of false positives, people will get misled that much. So it is important to understand false positives are not something that we want. And when the data is large or when the data is complex, it generally tends to have false positives. So you have to ensure that such false positives are mitigated. And very very important that uh, is maintain professional skepticism. Maintain professional skepticism. So how will you maintain professional skepticism, right? See, it is to ensure that you have a questioning mind. Don't take anything for granted. At the same time, everything that they give, you should not doubt. It doesn't make any kind of sense. So therefore, have a balanced approach. Okay, I identify those conditions, understand those conditions, see whether they will become real or not, and then decide this data is useful or not. So this is the story about the importance of maintaining professional skepticism about data. Okay, so guys, we are on the verge of finishing our very first chapter, so please take a quick look, then we will do a couple of more points and wrap it up. Moving on guys, quickly to the next one, where we are talking about a question which talks about, I'll just revise this question. Okay, the quality of information should lead to quality decisions. Okay, quality of information, because the more the information is good, the better will be obviously the outcomes, right? So quality of information should lead to quality decisions. Quality of information should lead to quality decision. How will this be done? So I'll write a set of points that the firm should achieve. This could be a question in the exam. By transforming the information into a process for quality decision making, the firm should achieve what? Okay, in this process, good quality information if you have, it will obviously help you take high value decision, right? But to do that, what all should we have? Let us list them down. So by transforming data into information, by transforming information into a process, by transforming information into a process for quality decisions, The firm should, that is the entity where, okay, the firm should have following abilities. Now this alone can turn out to be a question in the exam, so which is why I'm discussing this separately. What we're doing is, by transforming this into this, it can definitely put it into a space where decisions can be affected. Like what? I'll put it in short. One, logical understanding, logical understanding of data. What is the data? How it is? What could it be? Two, predict outcomes, logical understanding of data, predict outcomes, spotting of emerging opportunities, spotting of emerging, what are the opportunities that are there, what can we do with the use of this data, and then using the data for making strategies, making strategies. Point number 5, diagnose, diagnose, okay, filter, diagnose, filter, and derive value, diagnose, filter, and derive value. Recognize visible advantages, recognize visible advantages of using the data. What is that? If we do this entire thing, what basically we can gather from this? Then identify fraud possibilities, identify fraud possibilities, and finally use dashboards. Dashboards, you know, right? Or otherwise I'll explain you later anyway in the marathon. But dashboard is nothing but a easier way of presenting large data, right? Use dashboards to present or demonstrate the data. Okay, present information, we'll say. Okay, so this is a very very easy question. Quality decision, if you have to take, you need quality information. How do I get that? By doing all of this. Okay, so this is what it is, all the points. Take a quick look, and I have one last question for the very first chapter, which is called the digitization of data. With that, I'm going to wrap up. So I hope you've taken up the clearer look as to what it is. Let us now move on to digitization of data, right? Let's see how that works. Digitization of data and steps involved in it. Main idea of first of all, what do you mean by digitization? I hope everybody knows what exactly digitization is, thanks to what happened in India in the recent times. The post COVID era is a fully digitized era. Converting data from converting converting data from analog to digital, converting data from analog to digital is what is called as digitization. The main objective, digitization's main objective, why are we doing digitization? Because if it is in physical form, we will have to go there to get the access, but the objective is to give widespread access to data, because wherever you are in the world, once data is digitized, it can be made available online, and you can widespread access. Not only that, second one is preservation. Analog data, if you're putting in the form of paper and all that, it can get destroyed or damaged, but once you put it in the form of digital data, nothing will happen, right? And reasons for digitization, right? Why should we digitize? The question, why digitize, is a short question possibility. Why should we digitize? Right, one, let's say, um, improves classification. It improves classification, you can easily understand. uh, Access by more than one person, because otherwise if it is in physical place, only one or two people, or anytime you want to access, you have to go there, right? Then easier reuse of data. Improves classification, access more than one person, easier reuse. I think the next one is, work processing can become easy. Work processing is easy and acts as backup. It is a good mechanism for backup and less storage space. Okay, all these are one or two points I'm missing, right? So just go through that question. I think it should have about 8 points. I got six. Access from multiple locations. Here, more than one person. Here only I'll add that also. Or multiple locations. You can split that as 2 points and write. This is one person and multiple locations also. Okay. So this is about what is digitization, what's its objective, and why should we digitize. Now, moving on to steps involved in digitization, how to digitize. Okay, this is a question which can again come for 6 full marks if they ask you anything from this chapter in big way. What can be the steps involved in digitization, right? Let us go with the steps involved in digitization. 6 phases are there, right? 6 phases. It is done in a phase wise manner. What are the 6 phases? Let us take a clearer look at that one by starting the first one, called as justification. Is it really worth converting? Justification of the digitization process. Justification of the digitization process or the project. Is it really worth doing it? If so, what are you going to achieve? Consider the cost benefit analysis, all of that. Then comes, what is the data available? Assessment. Assessment means understanding what are all there in the content, how long will it take, will this records be digitized at all? If digitized, can the content be presented in the same manner? Guys, please don't misunderstand the word digitize means simply scanning some document or something like that. No, it's more than that. Converting the form of data, of course, by scanning is one of the methods, but for that, how much time will it take, what all will it go through, all these are important points. Justification of the digitization process, assessment, planning, then start the digitization activities. Digitization activities. This is about converting data into electronic form by using various hardware, software. You can use scanners, you can use barcode readers, anything of that sort, right? Digitization activities, and then uh, processes in the care of records. Don't destroy them. What should you maintenance of records and all of that, whether all the records that existed before digitization have now been digitized? Simply you should not throw any, but you still have to preserve it for some time. And then lastly, evaluation is just about comparison to see whatever data was there physically, was the entire data digitized and was it made available. Okay, so these are the 6 steps involved in digitization. Okay, guys, take a clearer look at all of this. And in fact, at this point of time, it's close to about 45 minutes that we discussed this story. Considering the initial 3-4 minutes of introduction, I've discussed all these questions in extensive length. We will now going to be increasing the pace of our activity. So what I suggest you is to put on pause at this point of time, run through the whole of the first chapter once again, and watching marathon in parts is the only way how you can make the most of it. So please do that entire story, the first chapter, and then we will go on to the next chapter, which is about data presentation, visual and graphic presentation. Some questions are there. So what I suggest you is to go through all these steps involved in digitization, in fact the entire first chapter, and get back after putting me on pause. We will continue with topic number 2. Hope you have gone through that, guys. Let us move on to the next topic right now, where we are going to talk about the next chapter, and that should be something to do with data presentation and how are we going to present the data. Two options given there, visual and graphical. First of all, what is data visualization? What is this concept? Why is it important in finance? See, In many places, you must have seen that data is presented in various formats, like sometimes they're given in tables, sometimes they're given in charts, sometimes they're given in bar diagram, pie diagram, histogram. This is one of the most easiest ways to understand the data. Same way, this is also one of the most easiest chapter to understand data presentation. Some of the points are there. Let us try and understand what those are. So as part of data presentation, what is the first thing that we are going to understand, right? Graphical representation of information and data. Graphical representation of data and information. Graphical representation of data and information. What is it called as? This is only called as data visualization. Data visualization. So what according to you is data visualization? Data visualization is nothing but the concept of presenting data in a graphical form so that everybody can see and understand it more easily, right? What all, like, if you really want to put up in what forms are you going to do this, then it will be in the form of charts, graphs, like charts, or you can even say graphs, right? Or maps. Different types of things are there. This is less of me to explain and more of you to understand the story. This one is very easy topic. Even when we do the whole content, there is nothing much for me to explain in this chapter, because as the name goes by, it is all visualization. But one thing is important as to understand, why do you think visualization is important? Why do you think visualization is important? There is a Chinese proverb, that says, um, a picture speaks 1,000 words. A picture speaks 1,000 words. Okay, a picture normally speaks about 1,000 words. So that is the logic behind doing this entire topic actually. Why should you read pages and pages of data? Why should you unnecessarily waste time on reading pages and pages of data? Instead of reading pages and pages of data, why don't we take a quick look at a shorter point, like say a diagram or something like that, where things become way more easier for the one reader to look at it and broad base understand. See, now and in the top level, people don't have all the time in the world to sit and read reports and examine things and do whatever they are supposed to do. But when it comes to other level people, they need a little more detail. See, they not everybody is Mukesh Ambani, for the organization. So there are other people in the organization also. So if it is Mukesh Ambani who's reading it, he might not wish to sit and read the whole thing. First of all, he doesn't have that much time to, even if he has the time, it doesn't give him the real understanding. So that is why data visualization, the more quickly you present it for corporate managers, it's easy for them. With slighter more detail for business managers, it will be useful, and in very detail, it will be useful to the functional level people. That is what the story is, uh, and which is exactly why in the stream of finance, this becomes a even more important story to handle. Okay, let us see some further questions in this topic. Okay, so let us in this context understand one question which is called as how to visualize the data in the right way. Okay, what is the question? It's an easy question. How to visualize data, how to visualize data in the right way. This is the question. Okay, 4 points are there. Let us answer them. One, two, three, four. First, why are you doing whatever you are doing? No, why are you doing that? It is a very important question to answer, that how to visualize the data in a right way, right? First one, option number one, know the objective. Why are you doing it? For whom? Because, like I just told you, if the audience is somebody who you are well aware of, this is the audience that I'm going to present this data, then obviously our presentation technique also will change, right? So first one, know the objective. Know the objective. Who is Why are you presenting it? What is it? Are you going to give it to people for them to understand, or are you going to explain? Right here, two types of objectives can be there. Right? What is the objective? The objective is declarative. Declarative means you are presenting something and people, you want people to see that, right? Or then it is exploratory. Exploratory means they will see the diagram and infer in their own way. They will see the diagram and infer in their own way of understanding, right? So that is the thing. Know the objective first. Why are you presenting the data? Then who is going to see it? To always keep audience in mind. Always keep the audience in mind. Always keep the audience in mind, because only when you know who your audience are, then only you can do something about it. Then in today's time, it is not enough if you know the audience, it is important to know what would they like to see. So invest in the best technology. Invest in best technology. If you don't know, because see, same data can be presented in more simpler manner through some software, the same data can be presented in more complex. So first of all, what is the best technology here? Maybe initially it might slightly be a little costly and all that, but it should still work, and it will not just go like that. So therefore, invest in the best technology. And lastly, what we need to do is try and explain people, Array, this is how you have to see the data and all that. So improve not your presentation, improve the team's ability to visualize data. So then they'll start thinking big, right? Improve that by training, teaching them, making them understand. Over time we'll get to this. Improve the team's ability. Improve the team's ability to visualize data. Okay, so this is what the important question is: how to visualize data. This can take up a straight choice in the exam for a question there, right? So keeping that in mind, would you like to take a minute to look at it, how to visualize these topics here? Chapter number 2, what we are discussing is on data presentation, and from there on I would like you to see these two questions, and then we will move on to one of the most important questions, which can obviously uh, make a short answer question in the exam. Let us see what that is by going to understand main objectives of data visualization. Very easy 3-point answer. What are the objectives of data visualization? Why do you think we'll do data visualization? Instead of writing big paragraphs of text or something like that, it will be easy and convenient for us to show how it works. That is the main idea of doing this, right? So what are the main objectives of data visualization? That's what the question is, and let us go by that, guys. Okay. Yeah, objectives of data visualization. Now keeping this in mind, what should be the first point? This should entirely help you to analyze the data easily. Objective number 1: by seeing the data, you should be able to get the an understanding of what it is. That is the reason, no? So making a better data analysis, making a better data analysis. 2, what do you think is the second objective? Instead of reading long paragraphs and finding out something, see the data and take a decision quickly. Faster decision making. This is the most easiest answer in the recent while that we are discussing. And if I give you pages and pages of data and tables, it becomes very difficult for people to comprehend or understand that. But with diagrams or visualization, even large and complex data can be analyzed easily. Analyzing complex or complicated data. Analyzing complex or complicated data. So these are the points that one has to take into consideration for the objectives of data visualization. I would like all of you to, also follow up with another very important topic here. Though I will give you the overview, I would want you to go and read this in greater detail. what is called as data visualization, data visualization dashboard. What do you mean by a dashboard? Well, I told you, right? When you open nowadays, I guess all of you have bank accounts. You are using UPI on all that. Now, say if you open something like Google Pay, it shows you what last 5 transactions you did this. And say if you have a SBI or Axis Bank or ICICI, almost every app, the homepage is called the dashboard. Generally, a dashboard is presentation of a lot of data in very neat and simple, form. That is all the key metrics, last 3 transactions, last 5 fund transfers. Basically, it gives you like say in an educational institution. I want to see how many people paid fees, last 5 people who paid fees, how much overall, how many students are there, of which how many have not paid yet. So everything in one screen, it just shows the entire thing. A dashboard gives such good kind of presentation where the entire understanding of the story changes. Okay, let me just try and show you what the dashboard looks like. Okay, let me just try and bring that on your screen from the notes. Yeah, there you can see example of a dashboard from healthcare sector. If you're taking healthcare sector, and this is the dashboard, see how it's looking like. Dashboard. Total number of patients. How many total patients are there? Operational cost is how much? Average patients per doctor. How many patients each one is treating? What is the hospital's performance? Doctor's treatment plan. So basically, in this one shot, you want to take a more clearer look. You can always do that. Let me just bring it on your full screen. Yeah, there you go. So that's how the normally a dashboard looks like. So now giving you this kind of a view will help you to understand what exactly the the purpose of doing things like this will be. So please ensure that you run through this concept, guys, because like I said, this is one of the very important topics. It's small but very important, because they can ask you 6 7 points are there. Data visualization technique, which gives you a dashboard. Creating reports will help you to understand the working relationship between one to the other, what the company is doing, why it is doing, and better data presentation. All these are some of the points down there. So this, don't forget that. Now let us go on to start discussing one of the very very important topics that I would like to discuss. That is, what are the, let me get back here, yeah, what are the various types of charts or graphs used? This is a very very elaborate topic of this chapter. So let us go by the charts or graphs. Charts or graphs used for, charts or graphs used for data visualization. Charts or graphs used for data visualization. Now listen up, very very important point. One by one we will go for it. First one is called as a pie chart. First one, I think we will start with a bar chart, whatever it is. First one, bar diagram or bar chart. I hope everybody knows what a bar diagram or bar chart looks like. All these lines, numbers. Okay, so that is how a bar chart is. I think from right from the days of school, you have been doing the bar diagrams or bar charts. So I don't think you will have any problem in trying to understand the first one, bar chart. Second one is called line chart. Line chart is where you use lines to depict where it is going, what it is happening. After this list is over, we will just see the pictures so that you will have a better understanding of all that. Okay, then we have what is called pie chart, bar chart, line chart, then we have pie chart, and then we also have maps and density maps. Okay, two things, map and then density map. Map and density map is just a presentation of what the content is, while density map is they pull arrow marks into each one of those and show you. I'm sure you have pictures of each of these. And then comes one of the modern day techniques, which is called as scatter plots. Okay, scatter plots. Then we have Gantt charts. This is a presentation which like shows line wise comparison, timeline based, how much was completed in the first 3 months, then 6 months, month wise, year wise, Gantt chart. Then we have overall being represented in bubble chart. Gantt chart, bubble chart. They can ask you one or two of these to be explained in the exam, or probably they can even ask you to, write all of these in short. Last one is histogram, which is very similar to a bar chart, but one bar to the other bar, you will have gaps, and here you won't have anything. Okay, let me try and bring those on screen if it's possible for us to add up. Yeah, there you go. Let me just show you of what I can we yeah, this is from the notes, guys. This is the first one. It's called bar chart or bar diagram. This is how it looks like, a neat and seen bar diagram, followed by a line chart. A line chart looks like this. Various points are being connected. Then pie chart is a circle. Depending on the circle, what share is occupied by each of them. That then map, you can see the India map down there. I don't think anybody has a problem in trying to understand that. Density map is something new. Each portion of this, how much is this here? You can see there, right? This one from here, how much, in this place how much, in this place how much. A density, like getting into the deep of each one of those and finding out what it is. And then scatter plots, like this, they're plotted as a relation, and when it is and what it is, how it is. That's called scatter plot. And then Gantt chart, take a look at this. This is how the Gantt chart looks like, a little more into, if you can, let me just zoom in a little more. Yeah, there you go. Looking like a Gantt chart. April to March, they did this. It's from here they did this, and then it is, some things are independent, some things are interdependent. How one is connected to the other. And then we also have a bubble chart that shows you like this. This is a pie versus bubble comparison that I did, just to make you understand how they are. See here also same. Pie looks like this. I just browser wise I did. And then here the same thing can be shown in bubble chart. The bigger bubble here, since chrome occupies a larger part, uh, here the chrome circle is bigger bubble chart. And last one is histogram. That is how it works. Okay, so guys, that is how this entire story of all these bringing back here. Yeah, so take a look at all these charts or graphs. If you want me to hold you up here, yeah, what you can do is to obviously put me on a pause, because the next topic that I'm going to discuss is on the data visualization report design, how to design that. Before I do that, I want you to take a little time in trying to understand what exactly this will look like. So put me on pause there and go run through all the 9 diagrams and come back. How to use data visualization in report design, I will discuss with you. All right, I hope you're done, guys. So let's move on to the next question here. The next question that we are going to talk about is a story on how data visualization report is designed. Okay, data visualization report design. Now, we did talk about data visualization in greater discussion, already done. Now, report design. What are the factors you will have to consider while designing the report? While designing the report, that too in case of where data visualization techniques are used. See, first of all, whenever you want to present something pictorially, see, normally these things, no, uh, the more easier they are to. Sometimes it is very easy to express through words. Now, like say for example, we all know this technique. We text, sometimes what happens, it goes outside our head. Arey, now to we can't text, we'll call and talk. So you believe that words can do a better job than text, and sometimes texts convey better, and simple way, rather than it's very difficult to call and tell somebody something, then we'll better text them off. So sir, how is that? In the first example you told texting is difficult, in second example you're telling texting is easy. It's purely because of the content inside that story. No, I want to I saw a movie, I want to come and tell people in my home. I will not like prefer to write a review and send it to them, because review writers, when they write a review, that's why many times nowadays these things are going wrong. When people write a review, and once you read a review, you visualize whatever you want to. Maybe you are not linking to what they're telling. So all these are there. Whenever I explain this topic, I tell in the class that visualization reports are one of the most important things to understand the story on the other side, because nowadays, apart from doing that, everything else is being so. First, 5 steps are there. Step number one, to ensure that like in report design, what we are now going to discuss are called strategic steps. Strategic steps, 5 are there. First one, identify the story. Okay, find a story. Find or say, let's say, use a polished word, identify the story. And when I say story, it means what the topic is all about. What is it going to depict? Identify the story in the data. We will present the data, but what the data is talking about, that story you find out. Once you find out the story in the data, create a narrative. Very important step. Create a narrative. Narrative means the presentation of that story. In news channels, no, they'll create one narrative. They'll build up, like what you should know, what happened, you should see what has happened. First they'll build that narrative, then we will discuss how to present it. Now we are not even discussing about how to present it, we're just creating a narrative. Then comes step number 3. Step number 3 is a very crucial step. This is the most important step, I can say. Sir, why are you saying that? Because this is the one that determines how you are going to show the data, which means what is the most suitable way of presenting. Now you saw it could be let's just pulling down bar chart, line chart, pie chart, all of them show data. Which one is the most apt one? That is step number 3. Choose the most. Choose the most suitable. Choose the most suitable data visualization technique. Choose the most suitable data visualization technique, whichever it is of the 9 we wrote. No, anything of the 9. Then how that, how to depict it. Follow the visual language. Visual language means presenting it, depicting it. Follow the visual language. And 5 last easy, publicize the report, making it available to the public. Publicizing the report. So identify the story, create a narrative, most suitable, visual language, and publicize the report. Okay, so this is the set of what you call as data visualization report design. How will you finally design the report? Okay, so guys, and toward the end of this topic, let me also discuss that so that you can completely sit and revise this chapter one more time. Some of the softwares are there what are now available in the market for doing presentation. Okay, different tools. Nowadays so many tools are there, but these are the ones most commonly used. Different tools for data visualization. Different tools for data visualization or graphical presentation, however you want to call it. What are the different tools meant for? Tools that are meant for data visualization or graphical presentation. Starting with the first one, we call it as Tableau. Tableau is a software which presents everything in the form of tables. Tableau is a wonderful software. It's a free version you can use, but of course free version comes with some restriction. But licensed versions, which many of the companies are using nowadays, they have some amazing features, right? It Very nice graphs. Once you click on something, it'll zoom in more. Interactive graphs and charts can be used. One of the very nice data presentation tools. The second most, like today, what I see as being most widespread used is Microsoft. Generally, people think it's Excel. Yeah, of course, Excel is there, but what now? Power BI is one of the most fantastic tools of today, right? I've not worked much on Tableau. I've just seen it as a software, but Power BI, I've used it. Excel, I've used it. So same third one is Microsoft Excel. It is also a wonderful. Excel is an amazing tool. Just that we need to know how many functions are there and all that. Many people, I will be frank. I can use only 5 to 7% of Excel's potential. That means that much unexplored content is there. I'm saying I've used all the basic formulas, certain advanced basic Excel. Now Excel integration with Chat GPT. I've seen all that. Excel is such a wonderful tool. Okay, and then there's a software called ClickView. It's not. right? It's QLIK, which sounds click view, but that's the name of the software, click view. That is also a data presentation software that is used in this context. Okay, so these are some of the data visualization tools or graphic presentation tools that are discussed in our syllabus. And then data presentation architecture. One small topic is there toward the end of second chapter. Data presentation architecture. Architecture means the design, how it is, what it is, how the data will be established. It's like it's the science of numbers, how they are established and all that. So I will just one topic. I would it's not a very big topic. It's a small one. So I would want you to go through that. It is called as data presentation architecture. Okay, so it is a very easy topic, but at the same time it is a kind of small topic but easy like that. So run through that data presentation architecture, which is nothing but the design. It's called DPA in short. DPA. Three topics are there here. I think what is DPA? Their objectives and scope. Means what goes into the presentation architecture, how does it work, and what is it all about is something that is discussed. So I guess we have covered a lot in the second chapter as well. So data presentation, all these graphic techniques, you can go through 9 of them. They are only the main piece, and I've already shown you what best I can do with that. Okay, so I think it's time you put the story on hold here for a minute and run through whatever we have discussed after the first chapter. I think that warrants a quick round of revision. If you can do that quickly, we will get back to doing the next chapter. Come on, please revise the whole of second topic and get back to watching the video, guys. All right, guys, I hope you have gone through the whole story there. Let us move on to the next chapter, guys. Now, the next chapter coming in is chapter number 3. And in this, we have 4 words. When we talk about data, data processing, data organization, data cleaning, and data validation. Okay, what the name of the chapter goes by? Processing, organization, cleaning, and validation. Let me put up something for you here in the first place, where so let us just hope for a minute, guys. So yeah, these are the aspects of data. I think all of you are able to see it now. Yeah, data processing means about information. I think all of you know that since the beginning we have been discussing that only. So data processing is about processing the information as to what it is and how it is. When it comes to organizing, sir, what do you mean by organizing? Putting the data in an apt order, a particular way in an apt order. That is what will be called as organizing. Then cleaning or cleansing. What do you mean by cleaning or cleansing? Which is removing all the redundancies. Redundancies means repetitions, unwanted repetitive data we will remove. Validation means checking the authenticity of the data. These 4 words I want you to learn first. These are kind of again very important to start with for this chapter. Then what is the meaning of data processing, how all that we will discuss now. Come on. So I want you to note down these 4 clearly. And once you note down that, we will move on to discuss the definition of data processing. What according to you is data processing? Let us see that. I hope you have noted down what's on the screen. If not, you can again comfortably put me on pause anytime and do so. Now let's come to data processing. What is the meaning of data processing? Data processing, if you go by the clear meaning of what it is, and we say the what exactly is data processing? It is about 3 things. I want to introduce 3 words to you in this story. What are the 3 words? First one, organizing. Okay, it is organizing. Categorizing. Okay, categorizing means putting them in an order. Okay, categorizing. And manipulating. Here, don't get the negative meaning of the word manipulating. Here, manipulate means to make changes. So, organizing, categorizing, manipulating, and then somebody is coming and asking you, why do they do this? Okay, to extract information, information, that is what will be called as data processing. Okay, so this is the meaning of data processing: organizing, categorizing, and manipulating to extract the information. That's what will be termed as data processing. Now comes the three phases of data processing. What are the three phases that are involved in data processing? Okay, three phases. Phases in data processing, three of them are there. What are those three? Let us see. First one, okay, manual data processing. Manual data processing, that story is over. uh, Manual data processing story is over, because that is an age old story, and now it is not there anymore. Even if though they are doing it, 100% manual processing today is not possible, because generally the sheer volume of things, the number of people involved in doing it, all this so huge, so manual data processing is not being done. But we can always use some mechanizers, calculators, right? And you can use certain devices to make your data processing easy, which is called as mechanical data processing. Now I want people to understand, mechanical data processing is not something that is a substitute for electronic. We're not talking about electronic in the second one. First one is purely manual, 100% human effort. Third one is there. What the third one is electronic data processing using computers or other devices. Okay. Now, first one and third one, I am sure everybody is clear, because in the first one, manual data processing, where people do calculations by hand, people are doing what do you say, using techniques of additions, multiplication, this that, and then presenting everything, whatever data is there, sorting, collating, everything is happening manually. So high possibility of human error there. Third one, completely using electronics, use of computers. In third one, electronic data processing, use of computers completely. Okay. And manual data processing, 100% human effort. Okay. Now, generally what people get confused about, sir, if these two are like this, what this mechanical? Okay, mechanical is about using some something like very basic, like say calculator is not some high level advanced computer, something, any device, counting machines, all those come under mechanical data processing, where we are using not very advanced devices like computers, but by using some basic devices, right? So I'm saying we use basic devices to process the data, and that's how the data has evolved. But in today's time, I guess everywhere, small business to big business, everybody is going for or using electronic data processing. Now the bigger question is, in this chapter, what we are going to do next is the most important question. So I want all of you to have a clear focus and thorough understanding of this. Many areas are going to come. This is the most important piece of this chapter's discussion. How data processing and data science, how data processing and data science are relevant for finance. It's a very, very important question. I'm marking a couple of stars so that I see a possibility of they asking this for 6 marks, or any of these contents inside can be pulled for like a small number of 3 4 marks and asked separately also. First and foremost thing, you can analyze the extent of risk involved. So for conducting risk analytics, how much risk is involved, which involves what quantum of risk that is known to us or it's not known, what sort of risk are we talking about, everything comes under the first one, risk analytics. So data processing and data science, the first place, are used in risk analytics, which is a method for defending against what can come in future. I'm not saying it will solve all the problem, but definitely it will help you be ready. You'll not be caught off guard. I don't know, sir, what is happening, let something happen. That story won't happen. Okay, so risk analytics. Second one, real time analytics. Real time analytics means, like what are those stories that are happening now, like who are the last 50 people to do a task, right? And see, real time means as of now, will you be able to give me any analytics, right? So generally, what used to happen in the past is first data used to be gathered, and once that entire data is gathered or put up, then discussion will arise. But now it's not like that. Real time analytics, right? In games, real time. Like when was the last time somebody scored a century in this ground? When somebody's in the 90s, the data will come. Right. So you are using certain advanced tools like, AI and machine learning for all of this to do. So real time data analytics, if you look into it, it is powered by AI, or, even say machine learning. So all these are some of the points that you have to take into consideration for when you're using data processing or data science. That is how they are having so much control on us today. Elon Musk, Elon Musk, right, is not just the richest person in the world, is also most feared because of the sheer content of data that he has. Okay, so that is one thing. And then if you go to Domino's, Pizza Hut, or you go to a petrol bunk, or for that matter, you go to any place where you have earlier been, they'll just ask your phone number. Just by giving uniquely typing your phone number, they'll pull off all your data. So using data processing, area number three where data processing is used is customer management. Where is it used? It is used in customer management. Customer management means which customer, how much do we, like now I keep telling the voice devices, Google Assistant, or the Amazon's Alexa or something like that, we keep telling them that you should do this, you should do that, and that notes my behavior, that notes my pattern. Acha, this fellow is buying this on this month, every month 5th he does this, every month 10th he does this. So all that customer data of what he's doing is being analyzed. Now, like say if I bought a particular good at a particular location, next time when I go to that location, it will give me an update saying that you were here. I would have also forgotten that I came on 10th of last month, but suddenly I'll get an update last year 10th you were here, like that. So devices seem to look more intelligent. And social media, one of the most advanced platforms right now to do business is social media. Many people are not using it for just sharing photos or reels anymore. They are using it properly for, what do you say, getting all the best out of it. So that is for customer management, we can use data processing and data science. Then also categorizing customers into groups, that is called customer segmentation. Now, this is a term that I generally explain in greater detail in our strategic management subject. Dividing, see, each customer has unique preferences. Nobody told customer should do this or customer should do that only, right? So each customer, he has his unique requirement. What is that customer's unique requirement? What are they talking about? How do they want to understand the story? Like this, there are many points that one can use the data for. The next use of data science is for based on the current data telling what can happen in future. Stock market is one place where this is being used so much. You know what the name of the technique is called as? Predictive analysis. Predictive analysis. Not only stock market, even it's like say you take games, even the game of cricket. When was the last time somebody took a wicket? All the data will be shown. Suddenly, projected score will come, or projected, expected fall of wicket, projected score. All these will come, thinking that this is what happened in the past. And see, this may not be applicable very much to real time event, but stock market, yes, last time the stock behaved like this, so in future it will behave like this. A predictive analytical behavior as to more on anticipation basis. So there also data is important, and based on the data only we are going to predict. Stock market definitely will use predictive analysis. Then 6 is what is used in, let me write that example for you. Predictive analysis example, stock markets. And the sixth one here, the next use is fraud detection. Fraud detection, very, very useful in today's time. When somebody swiped a credit card, normally if I swipe a credit card from a place where I usually buy, I don't get a trigger. But if I suddenly swipe it in a place where I generally don't swipe, I get a trigger, right? Fraud detection, this is generally used by banks. They understand, they go through the entire flow of events that you discuss and how, what you do, all that. So that again, pattern recognition only. This is also purely data mining, pattern recognition, understanding what that person is doing, and when he does something off, figuring out that, yeah, this might have a potential of becoming fraud. I'm not saying every fraud will be detected, but suddenly if there's a fraud, money laundering, or unreasonably high amount of value transactions, uh, doing transactions not from the regular place, all these are something that come under this bracket. Okay, and then moving on, this one, next one is a very interesting thing called as anomaly detection. Data is used even in anomaly. What is anomaly? Anomaly is a word used to depict something one of a kind, something which is one of a kind. Sir, are you saying it is abnormal? I don't want to brand it as abnormal, but yeah, definitely it is not the regular. Anomaly is a word that normally is used to depict something like that. Even in sampling concept in audit, we used anomaly, anomalous transaction. All transactions be occurring in one way. Suddenly, this transaction will happen some other way. Okay, so that one, anomaly detection, something which is one of a kind. We can understand that, and then the last one where data analytics today is used in, I mean, data processing is used big time, is in stock markets, and it's called as algorithmic trading or algo trading. When the stock reaches a particular price, when index hits a particular limit, automatically certain transactions will take place. Automatically certain transactions will take place without our involvement into that. The transactions will take place. So that is where algo trading is being discussed. Okay, so risk analytics, real time analytics, customer management, um, customer segmentation, the first four part, predictive analysis, fraud detection, anomaly detection, and most important, algo trading. Algo trading, nobody has to tell the computer, hello, wake up and do the transaction on its own. When it hits the limit, it will do it. Now guys, these are the 8 very important aspects of how data processing and data science are relevant. So what I suggest you right now is that you put me on pause and take your material, go through all these 8 topics in clearer detail, and then continue watching the further part of the marathon. Come on. All right. I hope you're. Please do it and then get back. Let us now move on to the next topic, guys. Here we are talking about what are the various functions of data processing. Functions of data processing and how does it work? That is what the next topic is all about. Let us see how that works. Putting the point onward, what are the functions? This could be it's a 6-step answer. It could be a question in the exam directly. Functions of data processing. Functions of data processing. I think 6 functions are there. By now, we have discussed enough data processing that I hope everybody knows. What is the first step, guys? Normally, what will we do? We will gather data from various places. But gathering data from various places is not the criteria here. Whether the data can be used, for that, the first and foremost thing that is discussed is validation. Validation of what? Validation of the data, because data comes from multiple places. The validation of data to check if it is acceptable. I'll say only that much because you can run through that. It's not a big deal. Very easy word. uh, Validation, is the data valid or not, because rest of the entire exercise will go waste if you're doing this entire story on invalid data. So what is the first thing that we have to ensure? The first and foremost thing that we have to ensure is that data is valid, data is good, data is valid, acceptable. Then second point, what is the second point after data validation? Sorting the data. How do you sort the data? Sorting is nothing but organizing it in a very meaningful order. Huh? So for what shall we write for sorting? See, these words are something that I want to see in your answer. Like say if I'm the one correcting your paper, I would like to see what I'm writing in blue as part of your answer. You will obviously frame the sentence and all that, but what is the main wording? Sorting is nothing but organizing the data. Sorting is nothing but organizing the data in a meaningful, organizing the data in a meaningful order. That is what it is all about. And then bringing all the data in one place, right? Bringing all the data in one place, that is called as aggregation. What is it called? Data aggregation. Aggregate means grouping it together. Collect data collected and summarized. Data collection and summarized. Okay, what are the what is halfway through the story? First validation, followed by sorting, followed by aggregation of the data. Aggregation means bringing all of it in one particular place, summarizing them and all that. Now come to the main work. What is the name of our subject? Data analytics. So step number 4 would be analysis. Step number 4 is analysis. What are you doing in analysis? I'll give you the words: cleaning, cleaning, converting. Cleaning means removing all that additional tags, unnecessary information, remove all that. Converting into a common format. And modeling. Data modeling technique means what you want to extract out of the data that we have to figure out, right? Cleaning, converting and modeling the data. Then comes step number 5, the interesting step, which is called as reporting. I don't think I have to tell people what reporting exactly is. Making it available to people who are in the crucial roles of the organization. Gathering all the data and structuring it into a what do I say, reporting is presenting in consumable format. Presenting in consumable format. Presenting it in a consumable format. Then the last step, sir. Normally, after reporting stories over, no, sir. What is the last step? Here, an additional step is called as classification. What, sir? What classification are you talking about? This is about data classification. Okay, classification into various. Now, when you say various categories, okay, yeah, classified into various categories. The question is to what categories? This is like say relevance over time. Anything you can do a classification of data into age wise, whatever you can use something that can easily help you to identify the data. So these are, to be honest, one of the very easiest questions. If at all they ask you in the exam, it should be worth the effort that you're putting in here to get those number of marks. Validation, sorting, aggregation, analysis, reporting and classification. And one of the very important things that they generally ask you to remember here is, since these are the functions, it is better that you remember the same order. It is better that you remember the same order. Okay, so that is what we have, guys, in this particular story. Moving on, I will give you one of the most easiest questions to come up. Standard ways of classifying risks. Standard ways of classifying. Standard ways of classifying the risk. How do you classify the risk? Okay, if you go by this, 3 branches are there. Now we normally know they are high, moderate and low. So I need not discuss. High risk areas, moderate risk is there, high risk, moderate risk and low risk areas. This is how normally everything is categorized: high risk, low risk, all of that. Okay, so when you see what exactly the risk is, accordingly you can give your judgment based on, acha, the risk is high here, the risk is low here, like that we can give the opinion. So these are the 3 standard ways of classifying the risk. Just very serious issues, you will put them in high risk categories. Something that is manageable, we can always put them in the moderate risk category, and where you don't have to fear at all, you can throw it in the low risk category. Okay, so that's the next topic. Then the next one that we are going to discuss is called as steps involved. Steps involved, or rather we'll say steps to be followed. Steps to be followed for effective data classification. Effective data classification. We have been discussing about data classification so much. How to make it effective? What are the steps to be followed? 3 steps. 1, understanding the current setup. Understanding Current setup means what is it about? What is the latest? Understanding the current setup, followed by creation of a data classification policy, because every organization is not going to classify the data in the same manner. It's going to differ, and how it will be, how it is different from one organization to other, that totally, kind of depends on one's understanding. There is no hard and fast rule that data has to be like this only or like that only. Okay, understanding the current setup, creation of creation of a data classification policy, creation of a data classification policy. And third one is to prioritize and organize data, prioritize and organize data according to that format. Okay, so these are the 3 steps to be followed: understanding the current setup, creation of data classification policy, and prioritizing that. Okay, so this is the story, guys. I want 3 questions be understood here: functions of data processing, standard ways of classifying risk, and steps to be followed. Okay, now there are 2 short notes that I would want you to uh, please read on here. Short notes, 2 of them are there, where they are just short notes and you can just read them. I'll give you an overview. One is called as data organization, which already has been told to you here. Where is it? Um, yeah, putting in an apt order. We brought them and put it into a apt order. So that one only we are going to write short note on data organization. Just one small paragraph is there. Please go through that. And the next one is called as write short note on data distribution. How is the data going to be distributed, right? This is classifying them into various groups and presenting them in a particular way, and arranging structured and unstructured data in different manner. All these are the points that one has to take into consideration here. So data organization and data distribution. I think all of you studied statistics, where you studied the various distribution types, right? Binomial distribution, Poisson distribution, geometric, hypergeometric. That also I'm going to right here. Now that could be a question in the exam. So discrete distribution, what about that? Discrete distribution and its types. Now when you say data distribution, in that discrete distribution is a topic. So under the topic of data distribution, there is something called as discrete distribution, which is let me write the definition. Results from discrete distribution is nothing but results from countable data. Results from what? Countable data. From where the data is coming, what is it being used? Results from countable data, and has finite number of potential values. You can't say infinite possibilities are there. It has finite number of potential values. Okay, all these are about for the data distribution. Right now, the important question is in this: what are the various types of data distribution? Types, and you go by one, binomial distribution. uh, Binomial distribution means where there are specific number of outcomes. Okay, right? Binomial has specific number of success or failures, specific number of success or failures. A binomial distribution. Then we have Poisson distribution. The second type of distribution is called as Poisson distribution. Now, sir, what is the phenomenon in Poisson distribution? Poisson distribution is nothing but a probability which quantifies what certain number of events. These things can happen. Other things, a chance of certain number of events only during a specific time. Let me write the definition for you. Okay, what is it? So Poisson distribution quantifies the chance of certain number of events, certain number of events in a given period, like number of what do you say, defects that can arise in a production run, number of mistakes that can happen in this processing, number of accidents that took place on a highway, like that. If you're putting a distribution table, that's called a Poisson distribution table, right? Then first thing will occur as a success. Okay, if probability of the occurrence of first success is called as geometric, and when you do specific number of trials and you extend out of a certain number of times, it's called hypergeometric. So three, and Poisson and binomial, I think all of you would have done back in school and all that. Third one is geometric distribution, geometric, and fourth one is hypergeometric. Sir, what are the difference between this and this? In geometric, like I said, it will check for the probability of the occurrence of first, probability of occurrence, probability of occurrence of first success. Okay, when will the event get succeeded? First time. Exactly opposite. Number of success, number of failure, binomial is a pure extension to that story. In that, okay, their number of success, but here which one? First success. Okay, and here hypergeometric means same topic, but certain number of successes. Certain number of success. Which one will you get when? Okay, this is a topic I want you to read, guys, a little more in detail, because slightly technical. Other than that, there is nothing there. Okay, and if you finish that, we can get into the discussion of what is a data cleaning. The next topic that I would like to discuss is about what is called data cleaning. What is data cleaning and steps involved in data cleaning? That is the next topic that we are going to discuss in detail. Please, I hope you have gone through that. So I'm bringing back the story. Let us go with data cleaning. So what about data cleaning? How do you do that? What are the steps involved? First, let me put the definition. What is data cleaning? Come on, what do you think is data cleaning? In the name only it is there. Correcting or deleting. Data cleaning is the process of correcting when something is wrong, correcting when something is unwanted, deleting, correcting or deleting. Correcting or deleting what? Inaccurate or corrupted. That means what is wrong, what doesn't have use. Corrupted or improper data. So if there is any incorrect, corrupted or inappropriate data, the process of rectifying or deleting that, correcting or deleting, is only called as data cleaning. This is what is called data cleaning. Sometimes it involves data duplication, mislabeling, wrongly identified data in transformation, all those, whatever is there, the process of doing all of that. Okay, eliminating incorrect data, or whatever wrong data is there, removing that. uh, it's not, again, we are not changing the data, only removing. Data cleaning is not data transformation. Okay, very important point I want you to note here is data cleaning. No, data cleaning, I want all of you to remember this. This is not data transformation. We are not changing any data. Okay, what is not relevant we are removing, that's all. Is not data transmission. Okay, now let's get to the 6 marks question. That possibility is steps involved. What are the steps involved in data cleaning? Okay, come on, let's get this done, guys. First, step number 1. What do you think is step number 1? Removal of duplicate. Removal of duplicate and irrelevant. removal of duplicate or irrelevant information. First step, because whatever double data is there, merge all the data, put it into one common place, and irrelevant data what is there, something that which is not being used for our current action, all that you remove. Then comes step number 2, basic problems here, like sometimes third alphabet is capitalized, first word second word is capitalized, some place it is written as not applicable, some place it is written as na, some place it is written as n/a, all that basic errors which all mean the same, then all that we are calling them as structural errors. So I'm saying the second step will structural fix the structural errors, all those things whatever are there, you fix the structural errors. And third one, filter unwanted outcomes, filter unwanted outcomes, filter what, all the unwanted outcomes, whatever is not necessary, outcomes or outliers also you can go. Outliers means something that doesn't belong to the group, okay. Outliers, generally there's a, so outliers are something that doesn't belong to the group, they are called as outliers. Remove all of them because they are not used. But here one very important step is there, fourth one, which is called as handle missing data. You can't add up whatever you feel like, right? So handle the missing data, what are you doing, how, that missing data should be addressed, from where will you come and fix that data, all these are your headaches that you have to understand. Based on observation, understanding, all of that you can figure out. And then fifth step, validation of data. Validation means checking. I think by now you already know what is data validation. Does this data make sense? Is it valid? Is it adhering to regulations? Or is it presentable to people? All that we have to check. And validation and quality assurance. Validation and quality assurance. That is what the steps involved. So guys, a small topic but a very important one. I want you to definitely go through this topic in greater detail. Of course, there are more follow-ups to the story. That is, what are the advantages of data cleaning? You can go through. That's a short answer, which will bring me to the last part of the chapter where I am going to discuss about data validation. So before I do that, I would want you to do this. Put me on pause here and do it, or however. So let me come down to what exactly we call it as data. Now, the last topic here in this chapter is about data validation. I already initially wrote accuracy and quality of the source data. Okay, checking the, let me just put it up for you because we will now go ahead and discuss greater detail. What is the last topic? Ma, data validation. Four headings are there in this chapter. Last one is data validation. What about data validation? Which is nothing but checking the accuracy, checking the accuracy and the quality of the data output before using it. Before using it. So that is what is called data validation. Okay. Uh, what are the various types? Let us see that is the question. That is a little technical in this story. What are the various types of data validation? If you go by that, first one, first type of data validation technique is called as data type check. What type of data did they insert, right? What is the type of data that has been inserted? Okay. uh like, is it to alphabets or numerics? First one, easy only, right? Is it alphabet or numeric? What is it? What is the data that we are talking about? Or are you using any symbols? That also, no, nowadays we use symbols. So what sort of data are you talking? What is the first one? Then this next check is called as code check. Code means, now like say in India, if you are typing a pin code, it has to be of 6 digit. Okay. So pan, 5 alphabets, 4 numbers, and then one more alphabet. That is called a code check. Whether the way you typed the data, right? Is something that it allows. Now in phone number column you can't type alphabets. Okay, so just whether the data, now like say I typed one 500,067, like that I typed one pin code. Now whether that pin code is really valid or not, or in place I typed 50067, actually it's be 5000. Okay, but I typed one zero less, so is it valid or not? Then date I typed valid or not, then I typed something which is matching to industry norms or not, right? So code check is about checking with legitimate options. So what you typed is legitimate or not, checking with legitimate options. Then third and fourth are very easy. Range check, whether it belongs to a particular range. So only people who are in the age group of 18 to 32 can enter into it. Temperature can be between minus 90 to plus 90, like that on the scale. A range, age in this case can be between, age can't go below 0, no? So 0 to 18 or 18 to 32 only can apply for this job. When somebody says job age is 33, they will be rejected for that job. So range check, whether it is within a particular range. Easy. Fourth one is called as format check. uh, Everybody here knows what format check is. Generally in computers we have DDMMYY. Some places we have MMDDYY. So what is it? What is the format? That also is something that we have to check. Then we have to check whether the data is consistent. Consistency check. Consistency check, how consistent the data is with other thing, it's presented in the same way or not. And then lastly, uniqueness check. Uniqueness check at the rate gmail.com. Pan is in a particular unique way. Best example for I mean, like, what do you say, five alphabets, four numbers, and then one more alphabet. That is a unique way how pan is written. XYZ at gmail.com. Like pan or email, whether they are, now if you don't type that at gmail.com or at something.com, it won't ever become an email, right? So these are the various type of checks in that field. Whatever data is given, whether that is there or not, the validity, accuracy, completeness. So while checking, okay, you are doing these six things. What will you check? Huh? What to check? That is also important. No, what to check? If you see what to check, four aspects are there. This is something like MCQ, something like whether the data is valid, validity, accuracy, completeness, and consistency. These are called as data validation aspects or characteristics to be validated. So this is what the story is of data validation. Maybe I can get you a little more into full view. Okay, yeah, there, I guess it is fine. And yeah, so that is what we have in chapter number 3, guys. So we have been around here finishing 3 chapters. Then what are the various types of data analytics, different steps involved in data analytics, all that is going to be there in the 4th chapter. So I genuinely suggest you take a break now, because ever since we started the last part of this 2nd chapter, I think this is also, each chapter is going around somewhere close to 35 to 45 minute range. So I think 4 and 5 are smaller chapters which should not take the amount of time that what do you say, the first 3 took. So I guess we should be somewhere around another, I don't want to give timelines because like, because if I'm giving a timeline, then I will have to fix it to that. So let's go by the flow. Even if it's taking 15-20 minutes extra for 20 marks, why should we put such hard effort and all? Don't do that, right? So I think I'm already trying to keep the marathon as short as possible, so that two things: one, we use this for a greater cause, and we also understand things. It's not like I explained everything and you didn't understand. It should not be like that. Okay, so that is the reason why I'm asking you to go through all of this and come back quickly so that we can discuss chapter number 4. All right, guys. I hope you have gone through that. Let us now move on to a fresh new topic. I guess we are right now in the space where we can start discussing chapter number 4. So let's get to chapter number 4, wherein we are going to discuss the very first topic, which is called as steps involved in data analytics. Our subject name is data analytics, so we obviously ought to know what are the steps involved in the process of data analytics. Now, how will you do this? What are the steps? First of all, what do we do in data analytics? Right? I think you already know data analytics is about analyzing all the unprocessed data and draw conclusions from them. Right? We will. Do you think we'll have to write that? Okay, we will do it. What's a big deal? Come on, right? It is nothing but a science of what? Evaluating Science of evaluating unprocessed data to draw conclusions, obviously for decision making, which we already know and we have already discussed that piece, right? So science of evaluating unprocessed data to draw conclusions, that will help. That is the first step. It will also helps to identify the patterns within the data, how it is, what it is, and all of that also. Now let us get, so these two are the definition of data analytics. Now coming to the main topic here, what are the steps involved in data analytics? Let us see. Right, step number 1. What is step number 1 in data analytics? On what logic are you bringing the data together? Right, so first you set the criteria for grouping the data. You're just grouping the data. Then, because you should know what it is, then start collect the data. Here, criteria for grouping the data means on what base are you segmenting the data, where you are getting it, how you are going to use it, all those pieces of the information. Criteria for grouping the data, from various segments you gather the information, pull out all of that and all that, then collect the data. I think rest of the story all of you know how it is working in data analytics. Once you set the criteria, like you want to gather people from so and so income group, so and so background, so and so location. That is the key thing. What criteria are you going to gather? Male data or female data? Are you going to gather high income or low income? Whatever it is, you pull out that, then collect. After you collect, you will get it from various sources, so it may not be in the common format or it may not be proper. So organize the data. Criteria for grouping the data, collect the data, organize the data, and then comes the part that we discussed in the previous chapter, cleaning the data. That is called data cleansing, right? Data cleansing or cleaning the data, so that only those which are needed for our analysis will be kept. And then step number 5 is about adopting the type of adopting the right type of adopting the right type of data analytics. Okay, now that brings us to another question as to what the data types analytics are, which I will discuss. But before that, what are the 5 steps? First, figure out the criteria, then collect the data, organize, cleanse, and then decide the type of data analytics on it. Okay, this is the first part. Now, very, very important piece is what are the type of data analytics, and that is exactly where 4 type of data analytics discussions are going to come, which we are going to discuss. Where text data, the entire data is there, it is called as descriptive analytics. What is it called? Descriptive analytics, which is followed by finding out what is there, where something went wrong, what it could be. It is called as diagnostic analysis. Descriptive analysis, diagnostic analysis. Using the current data, finding out something for the future is called as predictive analysis. Descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and what should you do? What should be your solution? How should you do it? That is called as prescriptive. What is it called? Prescriptive analytics. These are not analysis. These both are also analytics. In fact, all these are analytics only. Descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. These are the four types of data analytics. Okay. And if you continue to discuss, first we talked about step, what is the definition here, then steps involved, then we're talking about types. Now I'm also going to talk about why should you do this, right? What do you think are the benefits of data analytics? Benefits of data analytics. This could be one of the easiest questions to answer here. I think all of you should easily agree with me on 3 points. First one, which everybody knows, is called what? It improves the decision making. Nothing to discuss there. Earlier you might have taken some decision based on some random data, but now it improves the decision making. Improves the decision making. Two, after that it is followed by increase in efficiency. Increase in efficiency of operations. Increase in efficiency of operations. And improved service. Improved service to stakeholders. These 3 points I don't think I need to explain, because right from the beginning of the subject we are talking about these only, like how will we be able to do it, what it is, and all that. So improves decision making faster, increases the efficiency of operations, and it improves the service to the stakeholders. Now I want you to take a minute to run through all these steps. What is data analytics? Steps involved, 5 steps, 4 types of data analytics, and benefits. Now I'm going to talk about each one of them in greater detail. This is kind of very easy, this topic. One of them can come in the exam from this chapter. Descriptive analytics means what, right? Descriptive analytics, something which is employed with historical data. You like to revise, right? We'll do one thing. I will just do one thing here, because I want, this is a kind of important topic, so I would like to revise on this one once. So let me just see if I can bring that on your screen from my. Yes, I think we can bring that. Okay, yeah. So just to show you what exactly that it means. Yeah, there you go. It is or what is descriptive analytics? If you see that there is descriptive analytics, frequently employed style. I want to read and make you understand all these four. So please stay put and concentrate, because these four, one of them can definitely be there in the paper. So descriptive is frequently employed style of data in which historical data is historical data collected, organized, and presented in readily digestible format. Means something which is easily usable. This I am drawing from our regular notes. Descriptive analytics focus exclusively on what had already occurred. So I highlighted and kept there, that is past. Rather, descriptive analytics serves as a basic starting point for subsequent analytics, and it's one of the most simplest. With the use of visual tools, which we discussed in the earlier part of the marathon, line charts, bar charts, graph charts, you can put the data in a more easily understandable manner. So that's the first one, descriptive data analytics. Then I am moving on to examples. You can see past events, social media usage, how much, who is using what, how long are you staying on Instagram, how long are you staying on Facebook. That data analytics are coming. No, those, right? Have you seen that data or not? Instagram usage, you can just check how much Instagram you have used and all of that. Then advantages of this type of data analytics, if you see, descriptive is historical and basic computations techniques are easily applicable on a day-to-day basis. Second one, diagnostic analysis. While descriptive is the most basic form, guys, descriptive is clear, no? Very simple. I would just like to show you again, once again, that you can see the whole piece. It's from the past, descriptive analytics. Okay, those 5 points. Then coming back to, we will move on to diagnostic analysis. What happened in the past? Okay, if you can see it there again, as such, you'll see there. Identify what has happened. What already happened was past, to help us identify. Diagnostic, right? Now, descriptive being the most. However, if you have to go more detail, from previous line we got what is descriptive. More detail, we need to go for diagnostic analysis. This involved drilling deeper into data to identify not only what has occurred but also the reason. Diagnostic, that is why when we want to go for blood tests and all that, we'd be calling it as diagnosis, or that place is called diagnostic center. For that reason only, we'll be able to, it will help us step further, revealing the rationale means the logic or the idea behind it. Okay, sales team checking on profits, marketing and all of that. Then predictive analytics, if you see what exactly predictive analytics are, they focus on the future. In both the points we highlighted on the past, but this is one place where you're talking about highlighting on the future. What might occur by analyzing the past data patterns and by examining historical data, you are going to figure out accordingly. There is something called as a probability or a chance. Likelihood, the foundation of predictive analysis is the probability theory. What chances are there, what is the likelihood of something happening and all of that. Okay, e-commerce, sales, HR, IT, healthcare, all these people use predictive analytics. And lastly, prescriptive analytics is more about action oriented, what should be done. So first one was past, then what could be in the future and what should be done. Prescription, like doctor writes a prescription, right? Same thing here. When if you get a disease, what should you do? If you are doing this, then what should you do? Basically, that is what is called as a prescriptive analytics. Effectively conducted prescriptive analytics may have a significant impact on the corporate strategy and decision making to enhance production. Okay, so this is the whole story, guys, about the content. I would want definitely all of you to take a minute here and go through that, because if you're not doing that, then you may not have the full clarity. That is why I came to the book to tell you for. Otherwise, I could have written one line about each of those, but that's not a workable strategy, right? So please go through all descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive data analytics. So once this is done, we would be moving on to one of the most latest and current topics of the day, data mining, right? The next thing that we are going to discuss right now is data mining. What is the concept of data mining? Sir, we heard gold mining. What is data mining? I think all of you would have preliminarily read this topic at least once. What is the topic of data mining? It's also known as, data mining is also known as KDD, knowledge discovery, knowledge discovery in data, knowledge discovery in data, KDD. Where is the knowledge? See, knowledge is not something that comes with a tag, hi, I am knowledge. So we have to identify, a lot of data is there, by trying to understand the patterns. Okay, so translating raw data into meaningful information, we already know that as data analytics and all that. Data mining in the same thing, like from huge data warehouses, if it is able to organize and filter data, organize and filter data, what is useful for you to make decisions, then it will be amazing. Data mining, organizing and filtering data. Then data mining is useful for, data mining useful for identifying trends and patterns, trends and patterns. Okay, all this I would have explained in class with lot more detailing and patience. Now since we are on the exam mode, our job is to understand what it is, not to go into the depth of where it is used, or like how to be done. I think in class I have told all those aspects also, practically, where these kind of concepts gain importance or something like that. Okay, let's now get to the exam question. What is the process of data mining? What is the process of data mining? Let's see how that works. Step number one is, why do you want to do data mining? Like, By doing this, what do you want to achieve? Same thing like we discussed criteria, right? Sometime back, like that here. Step number one, setting the business objective. What is that you want to do by data mining? Setting the business objective. What are you dealing with, how, and all of that. And two, once you know what this is my business objective, to fulfill that business objective, what data problem statement has been established by setting the business objective. To fulfill this, what data is needed, that you have to get preparation of data from various sources, wherever you can get preparation of data. Then on that data, what logic you have to apply, that is called as model building. What is it called? Model building. And this is exactly where we have to identify what pattern is there in the data. Modern building and pattern mining. Modern building and pattern mining. Then based on this, you will mine whatever data you require, and then finally you will evaluate the result. Results evaluation and implementation. Result evaluation and implementation of knowledge. These are the 4 steps which are involved in doing data mining. Data mining is one of the most sought after activities in the market today. If lot of information is there, I mean, lot of raw data is there with you. From that, what all meaningful aspects you can deal with, what you can do, all those are also to be established out of this. So that is what data mining is all about. Then let us write certain techniques of data mining, how it is being done. These are little technical techniques of data mining. We might not encounter this. For you to know something like this exists, they have given it, but otherwise uh, as people in the stream of business and commerce, we don't indulge into doing it. But yeah, no wrong in knowing it. But the first technique of mining data from various sources, it is called as associate rules, right? Association rules, that is what is related to what, one is related to the other. It is also called as rule based technique. That is, if this happens then what, right? That sort of if then calculation is there, no? That is called association rules. If this would have happened, then that also possibility is there, like that. Then second one is what Elon Musk is working on, neural networks. Like how human body is wired up with all the nerves, like that, a lot of connections, trying to understand the interconnection of human brain, how human brain is processing. That is what is called as AI, the neural networks which are artificially created to look like brain. Brain is not what I meant was like human brain, the natural connections between a human brain. How so many correlations are there? When I'm talking to you right now, how can I recollect a past day's event? Is there a better memory in our head than the computer's memory? Of course, yes. There are so many things that we don't forget at all. In fact, the dress color, the place, everything, the picture memory that we have. So brain is like a wonderful storage. And how all these nerves are linked, where the data is stored, how we have kept it inside. Studying all this is, like kind of way more interesting and exciting. That is why the second technique of data mining is neural networks. Trying to just understand here neural networks, and you say I'm trying to understand the interconnection. Okay. Then coming to the third point where it is called as decision tree. This I don't think I have to explain. Everybody knows what a decision tree is. From one question, two answers. If this, then yes, no, yes, no. And it goes on one by one by asking questions and going down, right? Deeper into the story. Fourth one is a new story. It is called as K nearest neighbor, KNN. Sir, what is this concept? Let me explain. K nearest neighbor, often also known as a KNN algorithm. KNN. Sir, what does it do or what does it stand for? See, basically, it's like various data points are there. No, one to the other. What is the closeness? Say, for example, this is data point one. Okay, data point two, data point three. So, what is the connection? Trying to understand the closeness. Trying to understand the closeness between two neighboring data nodes, right? To see how related they are, it's called KNN. What is related to the other, right? So association rules, neural networks, decision tree, and k-nearest neighbor. These are all the uh, techniques of data mining. If you've seen data mining's definition, process of data mining, techniques of data mining, we have seen. And I think we have to go about discussing what is called as the benefits of data mining. Another exam question that is quite a possibility is where all we are using data mining uses in the stream of finance. Sir, this looks like a technical topic. No, where are we going to use this? Right, today already banks are using it. Today already almost banks and credit card companies, they are using data mining so much that they are digging so much into your data. They know everything about what your saving and spending patterns are. Plus, if anybody is using high cash deposits, cash in and out, all that. So first to use in the stream of finance be to detecting any money laundering, detecting money laundering, anti-money laundering softwares are loaded with any money laundering or other financial crimes, anything, anybody doing some illegal activity, moving money from offshore accounts to here and all of that, they can dig the data. Then prediction of, based on your past pattern prediction of loan repayment. How good are you in the loan repayment? Are you going to repay on time or not? All that prediction of loan repayment and customer credit. Okay, how good the credit worthiness of the customer is, whether it is worth giving them loan or something like that. And identifying who's your target market or niche marketing, to know the right set of people to advertise. See, otherwise normally what people do generally, they keep on targeting somebody, but that's not going to work. So target marketing, who should be your right target. And design and construction of data warehouse. Construction of what? Data warehouse. How to store data. Data warehouse is a repository of all the data, right? How to store it, where to store it, when you are supposed to be using it. All the detailing also will be there in the using in the stream of finance. Okay, guys, please go through this topic of data mining. These 4 or 5 questions that are there. What is data mining? Process, techniques, uses. Anything can come in the exam. So please go through that as the last topic of the 4th chapter. And if you're done with that, I have very small piece that is left to be finished, which is called as emerging technologies, which I will do right after you finish going through this and getting back. All right, guys, let us move to the last piece of our discussion, where we are going to now talk about emerging technologies. Now, here, actually, this chapter you need no much help of mine, but what I will do is I will give you a basic view about all the topics, because they're all short notes. But before I discuss all the short notes of certain important things, I would like to first talk about cloud computing. Okay, cloud computing and the 4 types of clouds. So basically, what is cloud computing? Where all the services deliverable, where all the services deliverable over the internet. So internet is a base, like say obviously Google Drive is a storage space available nowadays. PDF to Word converter software, Word to PDF converter software. So software is being provided as a service. Network is being provided as a service, storage is being provided as a service. So services, almost all services deliverable over the internet. Now if you want to convert PDF file into Word file or Word file into PDF file, you don't need to install the converter software into your computer system. You can do it over the cloud. Delivery of all the services over the internet is what cloud is all about, right? So cloud computing types, if you see, what are the types of cloud computing? Be one, public cloud, which is open to everybody, something like a Google Drive. G Drive is a big, very good example of a public cloud. Then if a cloud is within the boundaries of an organization, it is called as private cloud. Very much within the boundaries of an organization, then it will be called as private cloud. Public cloud, private cloud, both these are opposite to each other. Public cloud is where the open to everybody, while private cloud is only limited to organization, within organization. Now, if portion of the cloud is open to everybody while portion of the cloud is not, then it is called as hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud is where portion of the cloud is open to everybody while portion of the cloud is not open to like it's a public plus private. Some portion is not open to public, that is, it is retained within the organization, while some is open to public. This is the first and very simple topic called as cloud computing. Now, going further from here, we have some simple topics to add up. First one is called as, there are two topics with respect to the latest concepts called as intelligence, right? So, what intelligence are you talking about, sir? If you ask me that, then as such, I'm going to talk about a topic called as business intelligence, business intelligence, and the other one is called as artificial intelligence. Okay, business intelligence and artificial intelligence. What is business intelligence? All concepts of business analytics, data mining, everything, analytics plus data mining plus data visualization. Analytics, data mining, data visualization, and all the other needed data tools, plus I'll say data tools that will take care of all the BI. Now, BI is used in data mining. BI is used to report all the data. See, it presents the data in a more uh, you know, better form, I can say. Clear view of data. Okay, that is what is the main idea of business. Data is there, but getting a more clearer view of it and getting a complete understanding of that, that is a phenomenal thing to have. Okay, now coming to another short note on AI. What exactly is AI? AI, like making intelligent computer machines, making intelligent machines. Normally human beings are considered to be intelligent, right? Normally, okay, making intelligent machines, but here we are supposed to make the machine behave in an intelligent manner. And when the machine or device works in an intelligent manner, that is only called as artificial intelligence, right? Artificial intelligence is two types of artificial intelligence. One is called as weak artificial intelligence, weak AI, and then there is strong AI. Weak AI basically is about only it does particular job. System does it once programmed, it will do, right? Like our chat bots, predetermined questions will be there, you ask them, they'll give the answer, nothing, right? Strong AI does human like tasks, that means where thinking is involved. In weak AI, no, only simple programming, only simple programming, while in strong AI it's human like, that means it involves thinking, analyzing, etc. Okay, so that is how it is. And artificial intelligence today is used everywhere in investment services, lending, whether to give money to somebody or not. We're using AI in audit, AI in responding to customers. So application of AI is in investment services, lending, compliance, customer service, everything. Then comes another important short note, guys. It is called as RPA. I want you to go through this short answer: robotic process automation. Earlier, process automation was the topic, like a series of things are being done in a particular way, that is what will be called as process automation. But robotic process automation is where bots will come in, bots, chat bots or system bots, they will only do. Okay, so uh, it's basically a software that performs all these tasks which normally are performed by humans but are in this case done by the bots. Then there is a topic called ML or machine learning, where the system by itself learns and adapts from behavior, right? Learning learning and adapting from human behavior. Okay, that is only called as machine learning. Okay, then there are two languages that are normally used here: XML and XBRL. XML is a XML is a language in which documents are created, where you can share the documents easily over the web. Okay, so that, and XBRL is a language of reporting, extensible business reporting language, is where we report to ROC and other people in XBRL format. They are universally accepted. So there are two concepts which, after doing a whole lot of a 2.5 hour session, I would want that much to be done by you: XML and XBRL. So they are there. Just I'm reminding, both are languages. If you give a small brief reading about it, also they should be something that is. You should be in a convenient position to be able to understand what it is. Okay. So I'll wrap it up here, guys. I think I've covered almost all the concepts that are there in the syllabus in a brief overview. It's only for a 20-mark subject, so I guess the marathon comes to around. I've planned it to wrap it around 2 hours, 15 minutes, something like that. I guess somewhere we are around 2.5 hours. I think that's what is the time required. 2.5 hours of fast flow with me, provided you have done revision. If you are breaking at various points and doing the revision along with me, it should take anywhere between like 6 times the time that we do. That is like about 10 to 15 hours is where you can revise the whole damn thing in a more detailed manner. So I hope it was useful to you. If you have found it useful, do let me know. You can leave comments in the video below, or you can text me on Telegram on the name that you see, CA Harish Krishnan. You can text me on Telegram and let me know your views, or if you have any doubts, you can always reach out to me on that. This particular PDF, what is there, that will be made available to you as part of the description. So make sure that you make the most of it, study well, and score the best out of these 20 marks. I also have a couple of other marathons on strategic management and audit, which are there, so do check them out as well. Once they are out, you can as well revise strategic management and audit in a very smooth and simple manner. So I wish you all the very best for your exams, guys. And if you've liked this entire marathon, short one, I don't call it a marathon, but for 20 marks, like I said, this is more than good. And if you can really recommend this to your friends, if you have liked it and you want to recommend it, it'd be a great thing. I'll keep you posted with my further videos, and I wish you all the very best again. Thank you.